Hi everyone, so what a surprise that was. A-level exams in Wales have been cancelled for summer 2021. In this video I'll be talking about how this change will impact you as a mature student studying A-level mathematics in Wales. So this news has come as a bit of a shock to me. Now, in one of my videos, I did say that potentially GCSE exams in Wales would be cancelled, similar to what's happened in Scotland, but I would have never guessed that A-level exams in Wales would be cancelled also. Now, this is a big announcement because this change will impact students for the second year running. The Welsh Education Minister, Kirsta Williams, said in her announcement that in place of exams, the Welsh Government intends to work with schools and colleges to take forward teacher-managed assessments, that this should include assessments that will be externally set and marked but delivered within a classroom environment under teacher supervision. Her expectation this work will form the basis for centre-based outcomes which will be linked to an agreed national approach to provide consistency across Wales. To summarise, your GCSE results and now your A-level results will be based on teacher predicted grades and in-classroom assessments. Now, some commentators have actually criticised this approach to classroom tests as this is just stealth exams via the back door. Instead of attending a large hall for exams, you will now take your exams in a classroom under the supervision of your teachers at some point in perhaps spring 2021. Understandably, this will put immense pressure on teachers as not only do they have to do teacher predicted grades, but they now have to possibly set classroom exams which they need to supervise also. My only concern is how this will impact the rest of the students in the UK, because now you have some sort of uncoordinated approach across the UK nations towards their summer 2021 exams. Now, I appreciate that some governments have yet to make a final announcement about these exams. However, this is exactly the problem. Different announcements at different times are causing huge amounts of anxiety and stress amongst students. You could have a nation like Wales where there would be no exams at all. You could have a country like Scotland that's doing their A-level exams but not their GCSE exams, and potentially you can have Northern Ireland or potentially England where they're running the full exam diet for summer 2021. I don't know about you, but this fragmented situation is kind of ludicrous at best. And what about universities in 2021? You might have this strange situation whereby you have different parts of the country who sat their exams and those who haven't. I appreciate that all universities have to treat potential undergraduates the same. However, it will be a peculiar situation that some universities will be presented with when it comes to deciding entries for 2021. So what does this mean for you, the mature student in Wales who's studying independently without attending some sort of formal course? Well, you're kind of screwed for another year, unfortunately. In the absence of a portfolio of mathematical work and a teacher, you can't receive a centre assessment grade, i.e. a teacher predicted grade from anyone that could be put forward to the exam board for consideration. As an independent learner in Wales, you may be thinking, well, what if I just cross the border into England and do the exams there? Because at the moment they're still going ahead. There are two problems with this scenario. The first being that potentially you would have been studying the WJEC syllabus here in Wales, so you may potentially have to switch to the English exam boards of Edexcel, OCR or potentially AQA. However, maths is maths wherever you go in the universe. However, the style and presentation of the questions may vary between exam boards. Therefore, you may not be used to the sort of format of the questions for a particular exam board if you decide to sit with them. The second problem is that eventually I think every other UK nation would have to actually follow Wales's suit. Now, I did say in my last video that I thought that GCSEs in Wales would be cancelled, but what I didn't get correct was that A-levels would be cancelled also. As I said earlier, I think it would be a ridiculous situation if different UK nations will have different approaches to their exam diet in 2021. What sort of message does this send to the rest of the world about the authenticity and integrity of the UK educational system? Luckily, I'm not a politician, so I will leave that for them to answer. Independent mature students, let's go with the worst case scenario and assume that A-level exams will be cancelled across the UK next year. Potentially you may now need to wait another year to sit your exams unless there are autumn exams in 2021. Let's turn this scenario into a positive somehow. One of the most common criticisms of mathematics students is that they learn mathematics by memory and don't really understand the underlying concepts behind them. So why not take some time out this year to get grips on the second year of your A-level mathematics course? Can you explain the fundamental theorem of calculus? How about explaining small angle approximations for trigonometric functions without descending into madness? All these subjects that you've potentially just memorized can be revisited over the next year so you can learn how to understand them better. If you're an A-level mathematics student who may potentially miss out on an opportunity to enter university in 2021, then you may want to consider studying some A-level further maths topics. Complex numbers and matrices are two great chapters in the further maths syllabus. When has complex numbers and linear algebra not been part of an undergraduate mathematics syllabus anywhere in the world? By studying some core further maths subjects, you will build a firm foundation in your mathematics understanding, and also it will give you a head start before you do your maths degree. I know it will be devastating news if you will miss out on an opportunity to progress further in your life for another year, but take this hidden opportunity to learn, grow and develop yourself. I said in one of my videos that life isn't an accretion, it's a revelation. So let the beauty, elegance and simplicity of mathematics reveal itself to you this year. Perhaps some of you will really start to enjoy mathematics rather than seeing the subject as a means to an end. So all is not lost. Perhaps there will be further announcements for private candidates for next year's exams. It will be a shame for them to miss out on another opportunity to progress in life for a second year in a row if they are in the same position as last year. So let's hope for good news. So that's it from me today. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you haven't already, I really appreciate it if you can subscribe as well. So wherever you are in the world, study hard, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.